And then finally, we're ready for our main event. Yes, that's right. That's what I'm telling you. A 2-hour network television program. We got a tag team match for a half an hour. We got race car drivers. We got Cruella and Charlotte for, oh golly, about 12 minutes, I think it was. Maybe just 10. Then we got the Brutes and the Vikings for however the long. We got 4 minutes of a women's four-way. And the main event on the program is a live interview. And they wonder why nobody's interested in their matches.
And sadly, the interview is more interesting in every one of their matches.
Yes, and the interview was the only thing that was really, if I had my druthers, that I would have watched on purpose out of this whole program. Nobody can find, again, Jey Uso. Nobody can reach him. They're all getting his voicemail. Roman is upset, and he's pissed off, and he's disrespected. And he's been snapping at the other boys, but now he says he needs Solo and he needs Jimmy, he needs everybody together. You guys go to the bus. The wise man got the sushi and the steak, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know.
Listen, the steak, the sushi, they spent way too much time talking about the food thing.
He gave the menu. Yeah, you'll love the California rolls, boys, and don't forget that volcano roll. But anyway, you go to the bus and eat and wait for me. I'm going to go out to the ring. They couldn't come up with, he couldn't even say, look, I want you guys on that bus in front of the goddamn fucking Skype. I want one of you on the phone. I want everybody trying to get a hold of, no, just go eat. So he'll be alone for a little while. But anyway, Roman and Paul enter and they get acknowledged. And Roman says he'd rather talk about Cody, somebody who deserves his attention, the winner of the Royal Rumble. And again, Roman Reigns is so good.
That was good. Yeah.
Just speaking so good. Just everything, the material, the delivery, the inflection, the looks, the tone. And he talks about Sami. Sami was greedy. He wanted shit from him like everybody else wants shit from him, from Roman. He gave Sami the opportunity of a lifetime and he used him. And he's doing a great promo. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody in a hoodie jumps in the ring and fucking tackles Roman and starts wailing on him. And it's fucking Sami. And it gets a huge pop. Holy shit, the people are going fucking crazy. And then as soon as, of course, Roman realizes what's going on, he starts fighting back and levels Sami. And then gets the chair and composes himself. And this was perfect. This was perfect, the way that Roman was selling for Sami, but he was also selling for the surprise. He was, and then he didn't just turn his back on Sami. He was turning to get his composure, something that would have happened if a guy that honestly is not his physical level still got to drop on him. This is exactly how he seemed he would have reacted. He gets the chair, Roman does, and he's going to go and smite Sami, and he draws back, and Sami comes out of nowhere with a spear and gets a massive pop. Boom! And goddamn Sami gets the chair and draws it back and swings it, and Roman rolls out of the way, boom, and Sami plants it on the ground hard, bent the back of it, and Roman rolls out on the floor with the gaga eyes, like, what the fuck is going on here? And then Sami does the promo. I never wanted anything from you until now. Now I want your title. And a big fucking pop. Holy shit. And then here come Solo and Jimmy. They come in the ring from behind and jump Sami, and they beat him down and put the chair on his head. And Solo's going for the big ass face. And Roman stops him and takes a chair off Sami's head and cuts the promo. And here, this wasn't, I didn't have the same problem as I did with the Rumble being, they were allowed to have unmitigated, allowance to kill this guy for as long as possible, and nobody lifted a finger. In this case, it was happening, it was going, it was transpiring, it was moving, it was suddenly evolving. We're getting to the point, and then when Roman stops him and takes the chair off Sami's head, then they're not killing him. He's just yelling at him. But he fucking cuts the promo on him without a microphone, but to the camera mic. You broke up my family. My right-hand man isn't here because of you. I'm going to break you in front of your family. I want you in Montreal. How the fuck did we overlook, Brian, that the February premium live pay-per-view fucking house show event is in Montreal? This is perfect. We were talking about, should Sami and Roman be at WrestleMania? No. They ain't never going to do that one. But Sami and Roman in Montreal is fucking perfect. It'll be another goddamn, Calgary Stampede pay-per-view from July of 97 with the whole Hart family.
Yeah, and the place will explode when Owens runs in.
Yes, it's perfect. So that's the thing, is Roman now gives Sami the match in Montreal for the title. And I'm sure they've realized this before they've even pulled the trigger on this. Some way or another, whether it starts before Montreal or whether it happens in Montreal and continues to WrestleMania, Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes are going to be fucking best friends. They better be. And Sami better be wholly behind and potentially partly responsible for whatever happens. It better happen with Cody winning that title from Roman at WrestleMania. Or elsewise, but if Sami is put into a position where he is allowed to neutralize interference or to foil a dastardly plot or to make a difference at a crucial moment when somebody's trying to cheat Cody, and then Cody is able to win the thing on his own with no unprovoked fucking assistance, then everybody will be happy. But if they are not friends and Sami has not blessed and endorsed Cody's path to the title in some kind of way, there's going to be a significant portion of these people that are pissed off that it ain't Sami. What do you think?
Again, they have the Elimination Chamber in Montreal, so that'll be, you have to think, a major part of the story going into Mania. You keep talking, I mean, everything you're saying makes sense to me, and you're convincing me that that's exactly, not that I have to be convinced, but that it's the right way to go. But again, Owens has to be in this somehow too, I think. And potentially Jey Uso.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. You do have to somehow get Cody tied into this. Going back to what you said before, I love the way Roman Reigns addressed Cody here. He made it realize, I'm not putting this guy down. I'm not going to say this guy's nothing.
Yeah.
The exact opposite. You're going to want to see this. It's going to build now for months and months, but this has to happen in the middle of it. I guess you're going to have to get Cody tied into it, I would think, unless they somehow try to keep that completely separate. And how do you do that? And then what's Cody doing for the next few months?
Well,
because Cody's set up for Gunther, but not for now, because you don't want to burn that out just quickly before Mania.
Right.
What do you do with him?
Cody just needs to come back, look good, and look ahead to the title until after Montreal. And in Montreal, could it be that Owens is taken out by the dastardly heels early in the show so that he cannot support his friend? And then Cody does. But then does that give a backlash from the live crowd who wants to see Fatso do good stuff instead of the next champion?
I guess that's part of the issue. If you're going to get Cody tied into this, you may not be able to do that in Montreal. That may have to happen somewhere else.
But if it's done right, a guy saving the life of Montreal's favorite son ought to get over in Montreal. Wouldn't you think?
The American Nightmare is Canadian royalty. I think that will work.
Yeah, and old fucking Steen, he was offended one time when I said we're in Toronto. You should come out carrying the Canadian flag, and Richards can come out carrying the American flag because the title of the show was Border Wars. And that's cheesy. Yeah, it didn't work for your boy Bret Hart and his family, did it at all? You fucking fat piece. Well, nevertheless,
Jesus.
Well, every time I watch him in the ring, I'm amazed that he is as good a worker as he is, despite being a fat, disreputable looking fucking bliffit. But every time I think about having to interact with him personally, a bliffit, you know what a bliffit is? Bliffit's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. But having to deal with him personally on a personal basis. But anyway, some way or another, Cody and Sami have to be close or okay with each other, and Sami's got to bless and endorse Cody's path to the top, or some of the people will riot. But at the same time, and not right now while they're negotiating a TV rights deal and a potential sale of the company and trying to hotshot everything, are they going to give Sami Zayn a run with the WWE title by beating the guy that they haven't had do a job in the past 2 years just because he's hot right now? And he could be hot for the rest of his life. Who knows? But he still ain't going to fucking beat him at WrestleMania or anywhere else.
I mean, the strategy of starting the show with a little taste of it and then building towards the end segment, which will be no wrestling but this promo, it works because it's good and people are interested in where it's going. But you could probably fill up the show with better stuff.
Yeah, and what's going to happen when they don't have Roman and Heyman? Because, Roman is already a bit part-time, and let's say in a year or 2 years or whenever it happens. And my God, look at Heyman. What must his cholesterol level be at this point?
Is he on the neck machine?
Well, no. Are you kidding? They'd have to custom make one that size to fit that neck. But the point is, he's not going to be around forever. They don't have a lot of people that can carry interview segments as main event of a program. What's going to happen when they have to go back to giving people a main event of an actual wrestling match and expect them to give a shit about it? Because why do you care about these matches? The WWF fans come to see the entrances, see the personalities, maybe one of the live interviews every once in a while, see a fucking dramatic in-ring reading, and then they go get popcorn whenever most of the matches take place, unless it's something they're really interested in. So, and the company has done this to itself in being too much of a glossy, glitzy entertainment spectacular. They have lost complete track of what the fucking steak tastes like versus how far you can smell it and how far you can hear the sizzle.
Well, that's SmackDown, and this is your show.